Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Walkosz-Migliacio. I'm a senior software engineer, and I'm going to talk about how games can teach us how to build better websites, specifically things in e-commerce where you buy and purchase things on the web. So you're asking, okay, who is this and what's going on here and why am I here? First of all, thank you for being here. That's nice because you didn't get too much and you're here, so congratulations. But who am I? I code. I create cool features currently for Target.com. I also do designing. I design video games for my own company, Introvy Games. I have games on Wii U, Steam, and iOS, and they're also localized into things like Japanese, and you can also find them on the US store as well. I also teach. I'm a graduate teaching assistant, currently doing my master's at Georgia Tech and graduate TA there as well. The class I'm teaching is the human and computer interaction, and I'm also a Pluralsight author. And in my Pluralsight courses, I love to teach anything that has UI topics in them. So now you know a little bit about me and what I'm going to talk about. So let's just jump right into some gamification. So gamification is what we're talking about. Games are super motivating. You know, so many people who are, well, I don't want to say addicted, but sometimes they are. They just love games so much. They fulfill a need that we don't really sometimes understand. And we go, why do you love these games so much? There are lots of reasons why people love games. There are things that are just pleasurable when you win a game. There are things that are amazing when you have a great story. Like media in general, games fulfill a lot of those things with audio, visual, and even sometimes sense, because the way that you feel about the swelling of a video game's soundtrack, the way you feel when you beat the final dungeon, those things matter and actually feel great. But let's talk about why games also make you feel great and why they motivate you to do things. So this is right from Yu-Kai Chow's framework for gamification. And I'll just go through a few things and a few examples of the 8 points that he makes. So first, number one is you have an epic calling that makes you motivated to do something. And that example I use is when your brand is my brand. I feel extremely personally identifying with a brand and I will buy that thing. Or I feel like if you ever gone to Facebook and you've seen an ad and it's showing you need this like hot tub igloo sauna product, and you're like, how did you know, Facebook? That was me. That is Facebook doing a wonderful job of epic calling to you. They're finding the thing that you want that you can be a part of, you can buy. Number two is your accomplishment. And this seems so weird when talking about buying and purchasing, but it's totally a thing. If you've ever gone to a website to literally say, tell me when it's back in stock, and then got it when it was like 2 seconds in stock and then went back out of stock, that is accomplishment. This is the Black Friday feeling of I got the deal, I scored the item. And sometimes you're like, why did I buy that at Black Friday? But that is the accomplishment feeling that you feel, and that turns it almost into a game. Number three is empowering. Empowerment, I matter. So this is also another personal thing where the company or the brand knows that you care about something and you want to save the planet. You want to do something healthy for the planet. If a brand is showing you can purchase this product to do it, you feel great about that. SodaStream, I don't want to have bottles of pop anymore. I want to have bubbly water out of my glass. SodaStream does that. That's great. Empowerment, I want to care about women's rights, and I want to care about them having equality. So I am going to buy that Ruth Bader Ginsburg shirt. That is empowerment. Number four is ownership. I have a personal stake, which kind of does fall into the empowerment, but it also falls more into like I feel this is a part of something not only I care about, but I have responsibility for. And if you're responsible for that, you obviously are motivated. So this could be something more like potentially local. If you feel ownership for your local candy shop, you might be like, let's go get some candy from them. Let's not go to the big brand store and buy from them. Or if you feel ownership because it's something that someone else owns, or someone you care about is trying to sell. You're like, okay, let's do this. I have personal stake in this. Social influence. This one is odd and strange because sometimes social influence is the idea that someone isn't getting paid to do an advertisement, or someone is literally using their social currency, which is, yes, there's always money exchanged on that. But let's just say that social influence is the idea that someone cares deeply about this, that has a lot of sway, and that builds up your brand. So someone telling you, I love this lip gloss and I am a beautiful person on Instagram, that will give you some kind of social influence, and the social currency that they demand upon you is exchanged. Number 6 is scarcity. When it's gone, it's gone. Some brands do this artificially. So we only make 5,000 of these sneakers this year. So if you don't get them, they're gone. That is definitely scarcity. Another one is like buy now, it won't be available later. You only have 10 minutes left to make a decision, which is an interesting manipulation tactic that doesn't always work, but if you can make people think you're not doing it, it works super well. Number 7 is curiosity. This is different. Now, this hits home for me because I like different things. I don't want to just always have the same thing that everyone else has. So if something is piquing my curiosity, I really want to take a look at that and say, hey, that's interesting. I want to check that out. And then the last one is pain avoidance, which actually really fits UX perfect. Tie it in a knot. This is perfect because UX should not be painful. You should have the least amount of friction to get from point A to B, and it should be a joy to get there. So pain avoidance is very important to motivate someone from going from one place to another. So now that we have some gamification ideas down, we have principles of design here. Let's go learn by some analogy of I love video games because, and turn it into I love websites because. So we're going to think about, okay, why do I love video games? I get the high score. That makes me feel great. I have accomplishment, right? I love the story. Identify with the story. It made me feel the feelings. What does that mean for a website? I play games with my friends and I love my social time with them. What does that mean for a website? And then finally, at the end, we should be able to answer, I love playing games and I love buying on your website. That will be the goal. All right, so let's talk about those analogies. Let's go with achievements first. This is kind of low-hanging fruit. I said gamification is a weird definition of utilizing game things into a product. And they're not just doing rewards, but this is the first one. Basically, give me a reward I have achieved. So one way that websites end up doing this is rewards. There it is. There's a bunch of examples out there. And if you get on their rewards program, it creates loyalty. It creates people coming back. It creates a lot of things like I get something out of it. There are lots of benefits, obviously, and that's why a lot of websites are doing this already. So that was the first easiest thing that you could probably think of, like, what do websites do that are gamey? Definitely rewards. All right, next is adding a narrative. So there's all kinds of advice out there. If you want to sell something, write a blog. Well, let's go to the next piece of a narrative, right? Stories are what drive guests' feelings. How do we do that in a way that doesn't make them read a million paragraphs of story? Because you don't have that much time to hook them. How do you do that? So here is a great example of how you can do that. So this is an example of Target Finds. They have stories based on different interests and different holidays, different gift-giving things. This one on the left is actually a story about pets. So there are a lot of people with a lot of pets out there, and it is the thing that people can identify with, right? You have this adorable dog with a watermelon squeaky toy. This is getting me all excited. Oh, this is going to be about pets, right? And you have this woman having some kind of like potentially a tea party with her cat outside. That has feelings. That gives feelings right there. This is definitely someone who loves their pets. These are people who love their pets. I would be like, yes, I need those frisky party mix for treats for my pet right now, because I also want to be involved in some kind of cat tea party as well. And maybe that, when I think about it, is cat wine, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to go with tea party cat wine potential. But that makes you feel, I have a cat. I also want to purchase these things. This is a story that they're bringing to me, not just, did you think you wanted cat treats today? Now I do. On the right, we have an example of gaming gifts. So what do you do when you have to give a gift to someone and you know they're a gamer? It's super easy. We will tell you right here. And this is not only for button mashers, that would be like a console gamer potentially, but for dice rollers, that would be board games, or for anyone else, casuals, people on their phones, things, anyone who is into games. This is extremely inclusive language here too. So they are showing things for like Nintendo Switch Lights. They're showing, if you love Nintendo, maybe you want a Boo coffee mug. That Boo coffee mug, if you love Nintendo, you'd see that right away and go, how did I not know they made that? I need that right now. And then another one is, if you're really, really into maybe PlayStation, it's super cool to have a PlayStation wallet. I've got the logo right there. I'm identifying with this brand. Right there is another product that would definitely go for gamers. So this is telling a story with hardly any copy, any writing here. It's telling a story of, if you're a gamer or a cat lover or a dog lover, these are the things that might be of interest to you in a way that's not extremely intrusive and reading a huge blog summary of something. I think that's super effective. All right, so games have a game loop. So what is a game loop for e-commerce? Well, I like to say the game loop is, you were playing a game on mobile, you stop playing a game, and then the next day you get a little notification, boop, boop, time to look at it again. We've all been there. This is keep them coming back for more. So websites that do this are often deal of the day type websites or sections of the website. So they give you a timer, or they give you, the 24 hours, this is the day, and they say, all right, we have this for just a limited amount of time. Tomorrow we're going to have something else. So you're going to probably come back tomorrow too. But while you're here, you might actually buy this. So this is a great example I found just clicking meh.com. They actually had analytics on this page that said number of people who came here from just typing meh.com, because I guess you're bored. And they have the randomest stuff for sale each day. I don't even know what this is. It's a travel case for jewelry. I don't know. It's some kind of thing. I don't even know what this is. But somehow this might actually make you go, I need this, because you're feeling this. I'm coming back for more. I have this novelty for med.com, right? The curiosity. What's going to be on med.com tomorrow? Nobody knows, but it might be something awesome. Also, more established websites. This one is showing you an air fryer. Everyone has an air fryer. They love them. I don't have one yet, so maybe I now will have them. Boop. And it looks like this time it's sold out. So, it's sold out. Next time I have to come back tomorrow and tomorrow and the next day. This is not only a little rarity because it won't be here tomorrow, but also a little not buyer's remorse, but remorse that you didn't actually buy it because you couldn't. So that's 2 extra things that will make you come back tomorrow. All right, and in a video game, you have an HP gauge, how much life you have left on your gauge. And I like to say this, if they leave your website before the time they accomplish their task, it's game over. That means your HP bar is going down as soon as they're on your website. A lot of people say the opposite. Oh, I want them on my website as much as possible, as if somehow they're going to accidentally click like all the products and put them in their thing. But if you're actually having a guest that wants something and they can't get from the thing they want, the idea that they want to the thing they want in their cart and paid, it's game over. So one way that the infamous Amazon has done this, and this is the buy it now with one click registered trademark button, also patented. They're the only ones that can just say, here, hit the button. This is basically, how do we get it from our customers, I want that, to be paid, right? So I want to get that item in your customer's cart or home as quick as humanly possible before their timer runs out, their HP gauge is down. This is a perfect example of that. There is literally almost microseconds, milliseconds of gulf of execution of thinking you want it, hitting the button, and then it actually being paid for. So this is a perfect example of that. And then another example is not only for getting it into your cart and paid. So companies have been doing this all through the pandemic. I'm having someone pay online, they're buying online, and then you get it right away. You don't have to wait for the shipping. You don't have to be actually inside of the store checking it out because of reasons. You actually have convenient ways to go, like within a few hours, drive up, or in this example on the bottom, it's literally ready in 1 hour. You can do a store pickup or curbside pickup. Perfect. Get that execution of I bought it as quick as possible, and then I bought it, I got it as quick as possible. There is a huge race to the bottom there. Okay. Another thing that's super motivating is, I like to call it online multiplayer, which is pretty much bringing social media or the social aspect onto an online website itself. So you're going, well, what does that mean? I'm not talking about being on Instagram and doing ads on Facebook. I'm talking about like integrating on your website itself, user-generated content and things that people are sharing socially. So reviews are one of the things that are social. I bought this product, I thought it was amazing or awful, is a way that someone, some guest is telling you that it's good or not. Posting a picture of how it looks on a shirt looks on someone, or a product looks in their home. Totally social sharing. So here's some really good examples of websites that do this pretty well. The first one is actually a Hot Topic one. It says share your images of you wearing Hot Topic items, and we will post it on our website. These are perfect, and I love how they use diverse cast of characters here, because this shows not only models will look like this, but also random people who are hanging out, doing their thing, hanging out on the ocean on their boat. I don't know what's going on there. Hanging out in their dark basement with their blackout curtains. You know, that's a thing. People do that. It's Hot Topic. This is showing exactly what something would look like on another guest, and you can identify with that as a potential buyer. Another example on the bottom left here is Target Style. Target Style does this as well for things like home and clothes. And they're showing people love to take selfies of themselves on Instagram. They bring them in from Instagram and post them on the Target Style page, showing if you're looking at this dress or you're looking at this coat, what it would look like on someone else. Maybe not someone who looks like a model, but someone who looks kind of like you as well. So this is another perfect example of bringing that socialness to the website as well. And our last example is on the bottom right, and this one's Best Buy. Best Buy is showing you customer images from reviews itself, because not too many people are taking selfies of them. Well, they should, with their big screen TVs. I actually think that's a thing. I think I've taken a selfie with the big screen TV before that I bought. So you're showing off your tech. You're giving a review. You're saying things that I liked about it, things that I didn't, whatever it may be. That is also another way to be social on your website. And these are all different aspects. This is maybe curated pictures on the top, more Instagram pictures on the bottom, and then reviews as well. Like, these are different ways that you can bring user-generated content into your website that actually makes your website multiplayer. It's cool. And for my last thing that I wanted to mention is making design decisions ethical. There's been a lot of heat for games. You're hitting too many dopamine pleasure centers, right? You're making things addictive. Websites can be social media can be super addictive and super unhealthy in other ways too. So I wanted to bring up making it ethical in this talk because I think honestly there's not enough talk about ethics in computer science and computer technology in general. So this is something I wanted to bring up. Ask yourself, is this good for not only you, but your guests as well? So recently I saw a documentary, I think it's on Netflix. You can watch it if you have it. It's called The Social Dilemma. It kind of goes after Facebook and some of the things that people do to manipulate what you're seeing on your feed and your social network. And just obviously making people feel certain ways about certain things and tearing apart the fabric of society, whatever. Obviously, we don't want our guests to become unhealthy if we start using tricks and making things addictive or making them pay for items that they obviously can't pay for, things like that. This is always an ethical problem that we all have to think about, especially when we make technology decisions, because we don't talk enough about what those decisions end up doing to people. So my really small bit of time I have here, I would say you would bring guests your joy in a healthy, sustainable way. If your guests are not healthy after being manipulated potentially by some of your decisions that you make, then obviously your guests are not going to be happy later. They're not going to be guests for you much longer because they will probably be going away or they're not going to return to your website. So definitely you have to think about, does this help the guest in the end as well? All right, that is my little topic of how we can learn from video games and make our websites even better. I wanted to thank you for looking at this and getting it to the end. That's pretty special actually for me. So you can connect with me if you'd like on LinkedIn or on email. I have both of the things here. My name is Lisa Walkosz-Migliacio, typed out there with the hyphen. I am the only Lisa Walkosz-Migliacio on LinkedIn and probably the world. I don't think anyone has that last name, so probably pretty unique enough that you find me. And that would be evillisa@gmail.com. And it's Evilisa 1L. I assure you I'm not evil, and I do enjoy people, talking to me about anything game, UI related. So drop me a line or connect with me if you'd like this. And I hope to see you all again in the Ethernet. Bye-bye.